You wake up already tired, not because you did nothing, but because you're doing everything. You work, you plan, you optimize, you push. And yet, the success you imagined still feels out of reach. You're exhausted, but not accomplished. So how is it possible to feel burned out without having made it? Problem deep dive. Your days are full. Emails, deadlines, side projects, podcasts playing at 1.5x speed. You tell yourself this is temporary. This is the grind phase. But the grind never seems to end. You hit small milestones, a raise, more followers, a finished project. The satisfaction lasts a few hours. Then your brain moves the goalpost. You scroll and see someone younger doing better, someone calmer, richer, further ahead. And your internal voice says, you're behind. This pattern has a name. It's tied to what psychologists call hedonic adaptation, a concept studied extensively by researchers like Sanja Lubomirsky. Your nervous system rapidly adapts to gains. What once felt exciting becomes baseline, so the reward fades, but the effort remains. At the same time, your identity becomes fused with productivity. You don't just work hard, you are the hard worker. In personality psychology, this often correlates with high conscientiousness, one of the big 5 traits described in work by Paul Costa and Robert McCrae. High conscientiousness predicts achievement, but it also predicts overcommitment. You say yes to too many responsibilities. You feel guilty resting. You equate stillness with laziness, and slowly your effort turns into chronic stress. Here's the paradox. You're working at maximum capacity, but your nervous system no longer registers reward. So you feel depleted without feeling successful. Why? Because burnout isn't just about workload. It's about a mismatch between effort and perceived progress, and your brain is very sensitive to that mismatch. Reframe. You are not weak. You are not ungrateful. You are not incapable. You are running a biological system that evolved for short bursts of effort, not endless optimization. Your stress response was designed for acute threats: hunt, escape, resolve. But modern hustle culture creates chronic, low-grade activation, deadlines that never end, goals that keep expanding, notifications that never stop. Your brain interprets unfinished tasks as open loops, and it keeps the stress response slightly activated, not because you're failing, but because your system thinks the threat is still present. Burnout isn't a moral failure, it's a nervous system adaptation, but adaptation to the wrong environment. So what exactly is happening inside you? 4. Psychological mechanism. Let's break it down. Your motivation system runs largely on dopamine. Contrary to popular belief, dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. Neuroscientist Kent Berridge distinguishes between liking and wanting. Dopamine fuels wanting, anticipation, pursuit, not satisfaction. When you chase a goal, dopamine rises. When you achieve it, it drops. If you immediately set a new, bigger goal, you restart the pursuit cycle. Your brain becomes wired for chasing, not arriving. Now add stress. Chronic stress elevates cortisol. When cortisol stays elevated for too long, it begins interfering with dopamine signaling. The result? You're pushing harder but feeling less motivated. It's like pressing the gas pedal while the engine is overheating. Here's a simple mental model. Imagine your brain as a battery. Effort drains it, reward recharges it. But hedonic adaptation shrinks the recharge, and chronic comparison increases the drain. So eventually, you're operating at 20% power, but still trying to run a full system. That's burnout without visible success. Not because you're incapable, but because your reward circuitry is fatigued. And if you don't interrupt the cycle, the battery doesn't refill on its own. So how do you change the system without quitting your ambition? 5. Practical framework. Not by abandoning work, but by rebalancing your brain's reward system. Here are 5 principles. 1. Separate effort from identity.
What to do? Stop describing yourself as productive or behind. Instead, define yourself by values, not output. Why it works? When identity fuses with achievement, every setback activates threat circuits in the amygdala. Decoupling identity reduces perceived danger. Real-life example? Instead of saying, "I am failing," you say, "This strategy didn't work." Your brain processes it as feedback, not personal threat. 2. Build completion signals. What to do? End your workday with one clearly finished task, even small. Why it works? The brain seeks closure. Completing tasks releases dopamine and reduces cognitive tension from open loops. Real-life example? Before closing your laptop, organize tomorrow's top priority. That visible completion lowers background stress. 3. Limit upward comparison windows. What to do? Set defined times for consuming achievement-based content. Why it works? Constant upward comparison activates social evaluation circuits and lowers subjective well-being. Real-life example? Instead of scrolling LinkedIn randomly, you check it once in the morning for 10 minutes. You reduce unnecessary dopamine spikes and crashes. 4. Schedule non-instrumental time. What to do? Engage weekly in an activity with no productivity goal. Why it works? Intrinsic motivation activates different neural pathways than extrinsic reward chasing. It restores liking instead of just wanting. Real-life example? You draw or walk without tracking steps. No optimization, just experience. 5. Redefine progress horizontally. What to do? Track skill depth instead of external milestones. Why it works? Mastery orientation reduces reliance on external validation and stabilizes dopamine cycles. Real-life example? Instead of obsessing over follower count, you track improvement in storytelling clarity. Your motivation becomes internally regulated. Integration. Think of your ambition like a fire. In the beginning, it burns bright, but if you keep adding fuel without managing airflow, it consumes too much oxygen and starts suffocating itself. Burnout without success is not a lack of fuel, it's poor regulation of energy. Your brain needs oscillation, effort and recovery, pursuit and presence. If you only chase, you forget how to feel. And if you only compare, you forget how far you've come. The goal isn't to kill ambition, it's to retrain your nervous system to experience progress again. Quiet, empowering close. You are not behind, you are overstimulated. You are not lazy, you are neurologically depleted. There is a difference. And once you understand the mechanism, you stop blaming yourself. You begin adjusting the system, not with dramatic life changes, but with small recalibrations. And slowly, the battery starts to recharge. The fire stabilizes, and work becomes effort again, not survival. Maybe success was never supposed to feel like constant urgency. Maybe it was meant to feel sustainable. And sustainability is quieter than hustle, but it lasts longer.